Hi everyone, for today's book review we're going to do a 2-for-1. We are going to review the Books of Summer Volume 1 and its sequel, the Boats of Summer Volume 2. Both written by Richard Elliott and lavishly published by Schiffer Publishing. These two immense books cover the history of New York Harbor and Hudson River day and excursion vessels. Volume 1 covers the histories of 29 vessels, and Volume 2 covers the histories of 28. Some of these names may be familiar, but some of the ships involved include the Mary Powell, the Washington Irving, the York Hudson, Alexander Fullerton, C.Y. Peck, and the notorious General Slocum. Each book follows the same format where the history of the ship is its own self-contained chapter, and they are arranged chronologically. So Volume 1 has most of the vessels that entered service in the 19th century, whereas Volume 2 has most of the vessels that entered service in the 20th century. And each chapter basically is a summary of each vessel's life. We understand how it was built, designed, its years in service, any events, highlights, incidents that occurred, reminiscences and accounts from passengers and crew, as well as we learn about the machinations of either the ship owners or the companies who were operating these vessels, and then their eventual fate. As you're seeing up here, it is all interspersed with exquisite photographs. Because both volumes have been published on some very thick, exquisite paper, all the photos can be reproduced to their full potential, and the photos that have been chosen are absolutely exquisite, pristine and clear, and you can see the beauty of all these vessels in high detail. In addition to this, there are some gorgeous artworks sprinkled throughout, and let me get the artist's name right, William Gordon Mueller. Beautiful, evocative paintings that are sprinkled throughout the book, and you can see one of these up here. Some of the interesting stories that come out of this book include the fact that the Mary Powell, the first vessel in the first volume, had an extremely long life, was a legend in its own right, and throughout its life it was captained by two men who were father and son. We also learn that in the case of the Washington Irving, the designers decided to decorate the interior with a Moorish theme, Spanish, Moroccan theme. And so they employed the leading maritime illustrator of the time, Samuel Ward Stanton, and sent him off to Europe so that he could do some studies and prepare the artworks for their vessel. As he was about to come back from Europe, he went over to Southampton in April 1912 and was convinced by his friend to join him on a new ship that was leaving Southampton on its maiden voyage. And that is the indirect reason of how Samuel Ward Stanton ended up becoming a victim in the sinking of the Titanic. And you can see his immense talent in this book, which is a very early review that you can find on the channel. And a sad, sad loss to the maritime community. Many of these insights are sprinkled throughout the book. Each chapter is fascinating in its own right. Some vessels had extremely long and eventful careers. Some, like the General Slocum, had disastrous careers and short lives. And each is dealt with in incredible amount of detail. There's an extensive endnotes section at the back of the book, so that if you want to do more research about respective vessels, then you can see the sources that the author has used, and likewise there is a very substantial bibliography, so that if you do want to pursue this line of research and find out more about respective vessels or this trade, there's plenty there for you to dig into. You can of course also go to the Hudson River Maritime Museum and check out their exhibits there as well. There are also whistles from one of the vessels preserved there too. If you love excursion vessels, if you love old steamers, then these 2 volumes are a great catch. They are lavishly produced, top quality writing, complements the most beautiful photos and illustrations. And it is without a doubt a 5 captain's hats. So if you do love your steamboating, if you do love your turn-of-the-century vessels, then by all means do check out these 2 volumes. They are exquisite and will make a fantastic addition to your maritime library. Please go and check them out.